Welcome to the Enosi podcast, where we explore ideas, frameworks, and innovations that empower education and leadership in the 21st century. If you're a teacher, educator, or school leader who dreams of nurturing smart, creative, and future-ready students, you're in the right place. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the Success Framework, a reflective and strategic roadmap for shaping education that is not just informative but truly transformative. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with fellow educators, and follow us for more content that inspires meaningful change in classrooms, schools, and communities. Let's start shaping the future, one learner at a time. The vision behind success. Every great educator has a dream, not only to help students pass exams, but to guide them in becoming thoughtful, confident, and resilient individuals. But here's the challenge. How do we, as teachers, move beyond rote learning and academic standards to unlock the creative and critical thinking potential that lives within each student? This is where the Success Framework comes in. Developed by Mohammed Haidt and Rachman, Success is a 7-part model designed to help educators nurture intelligence, creativity, character, and lifelong learning in their students. It's not a one-size-fits-all curriculum. Instead, it is a flexible structure that helps you lead students into deeper awareness of themselves, the world, and their ability to shape it. The acronym SUCCESS stands for SMART understanding, understanding context, creativity, clarity, exploration, strategy, and synthesis. Each of these elements builds toward a holistic educational approach that integrates emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, and meaningful impact. Let's explore each element together and imagine how it might look in your classroom. SMART understanding, awakening self-awareness in students. The first step in education is not the accumulation of facts, but the awakening of self-awareness. SMART understanding challenges educators to help students reflect on their personal learning styles, strengths, dreams, and values. In practical terms, this means creating moments in the school week for students to ask, who am I as a learner? What excites me? What kind of life do I want to live? This isn't just feel-good introspection. Research shows that students who know their strengths and motivations are more resilient, self-regulated, and goal-oriented. As a teacher, you can facilitate this through guided reflections, learner profiles, student journals, and personal growth projects. You're not just teaching them to remember information, you're helping them remember who they are. Understanding context, connecting learning to the real world. One of the most common complaints from students is, why do we need to learn this? The truth is, when students don't see how learning connects to their lives, they disengage. Understanding context empowers educators to bridge classroom knowledge with real-world relevance. Are you teaching history? Connect it to current global events. Teaching math? Show how budgeting works in real life. Teaching science? Explore how students can be part of solving the climate crisis. Understanding context makes learning alive. It makes the classroom feel less like a box and more like a window to the world. It helps students develop cultural literacy, environmental awareness, and a sense of social responsibility. When students understand context, they don't just learn, they care. Creativity, opening doors to imagination and innovation. Creativity is no longer optional, it's essential. In the age of automation and AI, creative thinking is one of the top skills the future demands. But how often do we truly nurture creativity in our classrooms? Creativity in the Success Framework is not limited to the arts. It's the ability to think differently, question assumptions, generate ideas, and connect concepts in novel ways. It's about creating something new, whether it's a poem, a solution to a local problem, or a new way of understanding a topic. Imagine students designing their own science experiments, launching small businesses for social good, or writing alternative endings to historical events. Imagine giving students a problem with no clear answer and inviting them to explore. As teachers, we must model creativity in our teaching practices, our questions, and the learning environments we build. Clarity, guiding students toward purpose and focus. Many students wander through their academic years without a clear sense of direction. They attend classes, complete assignments, and take tests, but they're unsure why they're doing it all. Clarity, the fourth element of success, aims to change that. As teachers, we are not just transmitters of knowledge, we are navigators of purpose. Clarity means helping students set meaningful goals and understand the why behind their learning. It's about teaching them how to prioritize, how to reflect on their progress, and how to define success on their own terms. In practice, clarity might look like having students create vision boards at the start of the school year. It could be goal-setting sessions every quarter, or simply opening up space for regular classroom check-ins where students assess how far they've come and where they're headed. When students have clarity, they stop drifting. They begin to lead their own learning journeys with confidence, focus, and intentionality. Exploration, encouraging curiosity and independent learning. One of the most powerful traits you can cultivate in a student is curiosity. Exploration encourages students to become self-driven learners who ask questions, seek knowledge beyond the curriculum, and aren't afraid of making mistakes along the way. Exploration is what transforms a classroom from a place of passive instruction to a dynamic laboratory of ideas. You might design inquiry-based projects, encourage students to research topics of personal interest, or create a culture where asking good questions is valued just as much as giving right answers. When you invite exploration, you show students that learning is not just something done to them, it's something they can initiate. They begin to view learning as a lifelong adventure, not a temporary obligation. Exploration also teaches resilience. Students learn that it's okay not to know everything, and that persistence, curiosity, and experimentation are part of the learning process. Strategy, equipping students with tools for intentional growth. Without strategy, dreams remain just dreams. The sixth element of success helps students turn their goals and ideas into actionable plans. Teaching students how to plan, prioritize, and manage their time is one of the most important life skills you can offer. Strategy is what helps students break down big challenges into small steps. It's what empowers them to take initiative, to work efficiently, and to evaluate their own progress critically. As a teacher, you can build strategy into the way students approach projects. Have them draft action plans, set deadlines, reflect on what worked and what didn't. You can introduce simple tools like daily planners, mind maps, and checklists. More importantly, model strategy in your own teaching. Show how you make decisions, solve problems, and organize tasks. When students see strategic thinking in action, they are more likely to adopt it themselves. Synthesis, connecting all elements into impactful action. The final element of a success framework is synthesis. This is where everything comes together: knowledge, values, creativity, clarity, and strategy into meaningful and tangible results. Synthesis is not just about passing a test. It's about using what students have learned to make a difference in the real world. It's when a student applies math and art to design a sustainable building. It's when a student writes a letter to a policymaker based on a research project. It's when a class creates a community service project that tackles a local issue. Synthesis invites students to move beyond the classroom and into the world. It teaches them that learning is not just for academic achievement, but for social contribution and personal fulfillment. As a teacher, you can nurture synthesis by helping students see the bigger picture. After a project, ask, "What did you learn from this? How will you use it? Who might benefit from your ideas?" Celebrate not just correct answers, but powerful applications. In synthesis, education becomes truly transformational. Conclusion: teaching with success, a legacy of empowerment. Dear educators, your role is one of the most influential in shaping the future. Every student who walks into your classroom brings with them not only questions and potential, but also dreams, insecurities, and untapped brilliance. With the Success Framework, you now have a powerful guide to unlock that brilliance, step by step, day by day. This framework is not about adding more to your workload. It's about teaching with intention. It's about reimagining your lessons, your relationships with students, and your own journey as an educator. Whether you teach elementary school, high school, vocational training, or university students, success can help you create learning environments that are not just productive, but transformative. Imagine a generation of students who are self-aware, who understand their purpose, who think critically and creatively, and who leave school not just with grades, but with confidence, clarity, and compassion. That is the legacy you can build. So as you plan your next lesson or curriculum, ask yourself, am I nurturing smart understanding? Am I helping students grasp context? Am I allowing room for creativity and exploration? Am I guiding them with clarity and strategy? And most importantly, am I helping them integrate all this into something meaningful? Thank you for listening to this episode of the ENOSI podcast. We hope the success framework inspires you to reflect, innovate, and lead with vision. If this podcast was valuable to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to explore training, coaching, or curriculum design based on the success framework, feel free to reach out to us at heighten.rackman@enosi.co.id. Together, let's create a new wave of education, one that empowers students not just to succeed, but to lead lives that are intelligent, creative, and deeply meaningful. Until next time, keep leading, keep reflecting, and keep inspiring.